And we're very happy to have Jim Kaat with us, former broadcast partner of mine. You know how these things work, or do you do headsets?
Jack's going to show me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to move out of the way, and they want to listen to you. So go take over.
It's good to have you back in Minnesota, and I can't imagine you can't come back here without thinking about your great career here and the World Series in '65.
I think about the whole thing, you know, the whole body of work, and never realized when we played together. Now when you look back, what a close-knit group we had, and I think that's one of the reasons we were successful. Of course, we had Harmon and Tony and Zoe. We had good ball club, but yeah, very nice memories. Dave St. Peter and the Twins did a great job. It's just fun to be a part of.
And how about Sam Mele's message?
Oh,
I mean, wasn't that precious?
You know, I talked to Sam. I haven't seen him like I did on screen. I talked to Sam a couple months ago. He said, "Would you send me a picture?" And I said, "Sure." So I said to Sam, "Thanks for giving me the ball every fourth day." And he had his daughter call me, and he got on the phone. He said, "It was a pleasure to give you the ball every fourth day." You know, because that was all Sam did, was give you the ball, and you went out and pitched, and there wasn't any science or strategy to either got him out or you didn't, yeah. Which we all loved.
Dribbled up the line. You know, we had a breakfast yesterday in the Metropolitan Club here, and you were one of the special invited guests, and it stuck with me that a number of guys, and I think you did too, mentioned the impact that Billy Martin had on that team in 1965 and getting things turned around from where they were in 1964.
You know, he had a great influence on Zoilo. Later on, he had a great influence on Rod Carew. If you could have locked Billy in a room and just put him in the dugout during the game, you know, he was so far ahead of. I mean, Rod stole home 7 times in '69, but Billy, you know, in today's game, it would frustrate him. Sit back and strike out or hit a home run. You know? So we had Billy on the offensive side, and we had Johnny Saint, who came in, really organized our pitching staff, and taught Mudcat and all of us that little, you know, short curve. It wasn't a slider; it was just a controlled breaking ball, and God, it was a magical pitch for us.
1 out. The batter's Kyle Seager.
I thought it was a nice touch for both you and Tony to kind of, in your quiet way, try to pass the baton for the special memories you had from your '65 team. I know I felt that in '91, and we all are pulling for those guys in the dugout today. But more importantly, I felt there was a sense of family here.
Yeah.
And I mean the whole crowd.
Oh yeah.
It was a special moment. I know I grew up, and I don't want to date you, Jimmy, because you know damn well that you're one of my favorite people of all time. But you know, I grew up as a kid watching the '65 Twins.
Sure.
And that was my first real love for the game of baseball. And for me to see you guys down there and then hear that message that you guys are still connected, and all the years later you still feel, you know, like a brotherhood, that meant a lot to me.
Well, I think what we take a lot of pride in is the fact that we were the first championship team, Minnesota. You know, we came out of Washington, first in war, first in last, first in peace, last in the American League. We didn't have much of a team. Came up here, didn't do well the first, and all of a sudden we put some things together. And I remember I was just talking to Johnny Klipstein's daughter. I kept this little pocket schedule with wins and losses. We started winning series. Clippers said, "You know, we can win this thing." I said, "Really? The Yankees win it every year." And when Harmon hit that home run before the All-Star break, I think we all said, you know, the Yankees were then comfortably back. There's still that fear factor with Mantle, Maris. They won it every year, and then we steamrolled. But I think connecting with all the teams now, it's nice to hear fans say, hey, our interest in baseball really started with that '65 team. You know, we kind of kick-started the franchise.
Count is 2-2 to the batter, Kyle Seager. Dick Bramer, Jack Morris, and Jim Kaat nice enough to visit with us here. Here's a fly to center, and Hicks backpedals. How big of a thrill was it to start the clinching game in D.C.? And of course it was a different era back then, but you pitched a complete game and got that final out, and we'll always remember the celebration on the field.
Well, we had a comfortable lead, and so you'd think, well, you're going to win one, but the '64 Phillies had blown a 7-game lead, and everywhere we went they'd say, hey, don't forget the Phillies. So that Saturday night I was rooming Billy Place. I don't think I slept a wink. You know, I was more pumped up for that game. And Corlici hits a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. Is that it right there?
Yep. Tell everybody who the batter was.
And the last out of the game was my good buddy, the late Don Zimmer. And Zim said, "Pal, you knew if you threw me a breaking ball, I was hacking at it." It was tough. But we made that 2-1 lead step up, and you know that was just. I mean, it's something as Jack has experienced, you dream of. You know, winning a pennant. There weren't any playoffs, and
right.
To be able to pull it off, that was some thrill.
A 3-up, 3-down 3rd inning. We'll have more with Jim Kaat after the break.